Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is Eaglevp. We are got tonight's special guest star, which is Dronewolf Media, and his name's Chris. So, good evening, Chris. And I see
How you doing, Pete?
All right, thank you. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah. My name's Chris. Currently live in Southeast Idaho. I was born in New Jersey, grew up in South Florida, moved to Idaho about a little over 10 years ago, and worked for a office supply company, Staples, for a little over 20 years. And I was laid off last year, and then I decided to start my own aerial photography business. So that's what I'm doing now. So it's it's slow going, but you have your lulls and your busy times, and so you take it as it comes.
Oh, brilliant! So, you've just told me you're on your way to do a job now, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm on the way to shoot a corn maze. Each fall, town over, they, after they finish harvesting the corn, they'll go in there and create this amazing maze. And if you look in my past videos, I shot it last year, and it was pretty cool, the designs they put in the corn. And so they have like a little carnival deal for the kids and whatnot, and you can go in a pumpkin patch and pick some pumpkins for Halloween, and then go through this big corn maze. So I'm going to shoot some aerial photography of that, so it should be pretty fun.
Oh, so that'll be up on your channel when?
Yep, yeah, probably in about a week. Probably, I may have to go back out and shoot. With jobs like this, you never know if you have enough footage or if you have the complete shot until I get home and check it out. So, could be this weekend, but probably next week at the latest.
Oh, good. I look forward to that. I'm just going to take 2 minutes out because I just want to say hello to Granny Monster, Pixie's channel, Foundation Aerial, and Amateur Fitness by Spider, and anybody else who is on the live stream, because I believe you can't see the chat, can you, Chris?
No, I can't. But hello, guys. How you doing?
So, and we've got two wheel fix. Hello, Keith, and hello, Dronewolf, they say. And we've got Gacy in as well. So, greetings to everyone. So, can you tell us a bit more about your channel then, Chris?
So, yeah, just, I just got into drones. I've always been into them, but nothing real serious. It kind of just, took my, didn't really take it too serious until last year, and just really started getting into it, and then started posting stuff, and just kind of started out using the YouTube editing stuff, and you're really limited with that. So I progressed from that and started using Premiere Pro, and then I'm currently using Cyberlink's Power Director, and it's really nice. So yeah, just a little bit at a time. And so I started my business earlier this year, and started getting customers last year, but yeah, just been slowly progressing. So
Great then, Chris. Kentucky Ranger asked, what was the reason for you getting into drone photography? Is it something you did while you was working?
Well, it was kind of I kind of got thrown into it, but it was something I always wanted to do. I knew, the drone business was, in its infancy, and it was really starting to grow around the country here. And when I got laid off last year, it was a perfect opportunity to start my own business and just jump, feet first into it. So that's what I did. Yeah.
And do you cover any other states or just the state where you live at present?
I have filmed a bit in Wyoming and Utah, but currently mostly here in Idaho. But
Yeah. So
yeah.
with you being a professional, then can you film anywhere else in the States?
Yes, I can. I am Part 107 certified, so I can film, all over the country. And yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
be going to, my parents live in Arkansas, so I'm going to be heading down there. I'm going to drive down there. It's about an 18-hour drive if you go straight through. So I'll be driving down there this Thanksgiving to see them. So I'll take my drone and stop off along the way, a few states here and there, and get some cool footage. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, yeah, so am I. I will really look forward to that, Chris, then. So, have you got anybody else involved in your business, at all? Or is it just a one-man
No,
business?
it's just me, it's just me, and I'm just doing it all myself. I have touched base with a couple of local photographers here, and we've set up, um, you know, a meet and greet, and when they have some work come their way that they're doing, like weddings and whatnot, then they'll call me. I haven't done a wedding yet, although I'm looking forward to it. But currently, just in the business, it's just me right now. So.
Yeah, and what equipment do you or have you got?
I couldn't hear you there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said, what drones have you got? Do you just use the one drone, or have you got a few drones?
I currently. I started out with the Phantom 3 Professional, and then I moved up to the Phantom 4 Professional. So that's what I'm using right now, and yeah, it's working out pretty good for me.
Yeah, and how many batteries have you got, if you don't mind me asking, Chris?
I currently have 4.
Four. Yeah. So how long do you get flying time with the 4 batteries?
I can go all day, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just out there playing around, then I can burn through them in a couple hours. But, if I'm doing a job and I have it planned out, and, I'll make sure and conserve my batteries to totally film and shoot what I need to. So I can make 4 batteries last me all day.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant then. So, are you finding getting work on the drone side easy or hard?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I think the volume dropped off. Let me plug in my earphones real quick.
So, hello everybody who's on chat. Hello, Reed, and everybody
okay,
else.
Go ahead and say that again. There we go. That's better.
Okay then, Chris. Are you finding work easy to come by in your state then for drone?
It's been difficult, and like any small business first starting out, it's going to be you're going to have your ups and downs. My first paying gig was actually from NBC Universal contacted me. They saw my video on YouTube, which is labeled Downtown Idaho Falls, and there was a big story, well, actually, it was a big murder that happened 20 years ago. This guy was falsely convicted and spent 20 years in prison for this murder that he didn't commit. And so he was released earlier this year. And so Investigation Discovery Channel, who's part of NBC, was doing a documentary, and they wanted to license my aerial footage. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so I licensed a bunch of footage for them for this documentary. It came out this past May. And so I was super excited about that. And since then, I've had a couple of real estate jobs, and I did a landscaping job. It's been super slow the past month. And then just last week, I had People Magazine call me wanting to license some footage. so they're doing a story here locally, and apparently they have a TV channel, a cable channel here in the States called People Magazine Investigates. And so I'm excited about that. They wanted some winter footage from me, and so I've got plenty of that. I sent them a demo reel a couple days ago, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. So.
Yeah, yeah. So will that be put up on your YouTube channel then, Chris?
You know, I could put it up. The documentary I did for Investigation Discovery, it's about an hour and a half long, and so it's really I would have to, you know, cut out their pieces because I couldn't, you know, their content is copyrighted. So even though it's my footage, I gave it to them. So it probably won't be up on my channel, but the stuff that I'm giving them is already on my channel from months ago, from last winter. If you go back and look at a number of my winter flights and videos, most of that footage is what I'll be licensing to them. So.
Yeah. Oh, great then. So what you mentioned that you've only been doing this just over a year. So and you mentioned what you did before, the type of work you did. So have you always lived in that state where you are now?
No. I moved up here about just over 10 years ago. And, you know, I was into the model rockets, those Estes rockets that you shoot up in the air. And I had a couple of RC helicopters and airplanes and whatnot. So I was into RC when I was young. And then a couple years ago, I got into, I'm sorry, I need to turn that off. A couple years ago, I got into just flying drones, just tooling around. And so, you know, and then when I got laid off, I really got into it, you know, really big time. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm sorry, you're not hearing that ring on your end, are you?
Yeah, I heard it. We heard it all.
Let me mute that. I thought it was muted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we can.
So to answer your question, I moved up to Idaho about 10 years ago. I moved from South Florida. It was by the beach most of my life. Good 30 years. I'm 50 years old, so spent a good 30 plus years down there. And yeah, so it was a big change moving up here, moving from the beach to the mountains. So, but I love it up here. It's great.
Yeah. So, have you got any family at all then?
No, I have a wife. I'm married. We don't have any kids. And her family is up here in Idaho. My family is spread out all over. I've got family in New York, Florida, Arkansas, Iowa. So they're spread out all over the place. But it's just me up here and me and her. Yeah.
And does she work as well then in the business?
Yeah, she works. She's a social worker, so she does social work. So that's what she does.
Oh, good then. You know, so how long you been, or how long have you had a YouTube channel then?
I've had my YouTube channel since 2010. I had a couple videos up, you know, probably 5-6 years ago, and I didn't really put much up on my channel until like maybe a year ago, and that's when I really started posting a lot of drone stuff. So
yeah. And do you follow a lot of drone channels, or do you
have
a mixture of channels that you watch?
Yeah, I follow a ton of drone channels. It's nice to be able to see other people's work and whatnot, and see what they're doing, and see the environment they're shooting, whether it's mountains or deserts or whatnot, and then to check out their editing work as well. It's always fun to watch. So between that, and then I have have a number of other channels that I follow that are unrelated to drones, but yeah, I follow a lot of drone channels.
Yeah. So who inspires you in the YouTube droning world?
That's a tough one. There are a lot of inspiring channels out there. It's hard to pick just one. I know when I first came across Ken Heron's channel. I don't know if you've seen his work, but Ken does some amazing work, and it's, you know, he's a radio DJ by profession, and so this is something he does on the side. And but the way he just edits stuff and film stuff, and he travels all over the country, and so he was a big inspiration to me. And there's a number of other channels as well that are inspiring, and but yeah, it's always fun to check out other people's work. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, because I follow a lot of drone channels, but I also follow a lot of other people's, you know, other sorts of YouTubers, you know. So
Right.
I've just got to ask you one favour, really. Now is young Owen Williams, who's a 13-year-old from the UK. He wants to know if you will go on his channel tomorrow at the same time, about 2 p.m. if you are available, or Saturday. I meant to say Saturday. He would like to have a drone talk with you.
Okay, I would love to do a drone talk with Owen. I can't do it Saturday. What I do a podcast for a guy I met on an Android forum. I was big into Android phones and whatnot, and so I met Leonard on an Android forum. It's called the Droid Forums, and so he started up a YouTube channel talking about technology, and so I do a weekly podcast with him on Saturdays. So we focus on phones and drones.
Yeah.
So I'll talk a little bit about drones. He talks a little bit about drones. We have debates and whatnot. So I do that on Saturdays. So I could do it, you know, Sunday if he'd like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll touch base with Owen and see. I'd love to go on his channel.
Oh,
that'd be
great.
cool.
He's watching, so he'll listen to
Nice.
that. I'm sorry, Owen.
Happy to do it, Owen.
I'm sorry, Owen. Random says you're 15. Couldn't remember, you know, it's my age, my memory. So where can we listen to this podcast then? Do you...
Yeah. He puts it up on it's his channel. Just search Leonard D.
Yeah.
And it'll come up. And yeah, you'll see all sorts of tech videos. We do a live hangouts like we're doing here, and then he'll take it later on and cut it into various segments, and then edit those videos and put those up. Like, you know, last week or the week before, we did a big hangouts chat on the new Apple. The Apple Live show and all the new devices that Apple released. So, yeah, check out his channel, guys, if you get a chance. We have a blast doing that each week. So
can you put that in the comments after the live? You know, a link to his channel and
absolutely.
So we can follow it.
Absolutely, we can do that. No problem.
Because I'm talking to you, I ain't got a pen or paper, so I haven't wrote it down, and I can't make you a moderator because you haven't got the chat there, so you can't write anything in the chat.
Right, yeah. So you know, just it's Leonard D. Once you post this online, I'll go ahead and enter it in the comments. But it's just Leonard, Leonard D, Leonard D. And so yeah, we have a lot of fun. He's, you know, he doesn't have very many subscribers. We just got into this as something to mess around with and have fun with. And so yeah, it's been a blast each week doing it, and so we've really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you guys don't mind, go over and check his channel out and give him some love.
Yeah, I'll just look at the comments. Random Life, can you check Leonard D's channel? If you can you put a link in on the chat for people to go and sub Leonard D, please? I would appreciate that. So what other hobbies have you got then, Chris, besides doing droning as a business, doing a podcast on a Saturday? You seem a very busy man.
Very, very busy lately. I had quite a few hobbies. I used to go out mountain biking, motocross, four-wheeling, camping. Used to love to camp. Back in 2015, I messed up my back, and so I've had a couple of surgeries. So I was laid up for a good year, dealing with some back surgeries and recovery. And so that's kind of sidelined me with a lot of my hobbies. In the winter, I used to go out snowboarding and skiing and snowmobiling. And so with my back issues, it's kind of limited me with the hobbies I loved to do. And so that was another thing that got me into drones again, was to, give me something to go out and do that wasn't too strenuous on my back and whatnot. So, aside from making it a business, it's also been a great hobby for me too. So
yeah, and you can't be making a living from a hobby, because that's
right.
That's how I started with the video business. It was a hobby that I turned into a business, which was okay. Owen says, which Leonard D? Because there must be more than one Leonard D.
It should, let's see, his channel should have a bunch of recent videos of Apple related stuff. It might be under PC 747, because he works in the airline.
Yeah, he's got it. Owen's got it now. Yeah, he's put the link in for us all to go over and sub to him.
Good deal. Good deal.
So besides that, what am I thinking about? So, because you're in business, what are your strengths and weaknesses business-wise?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would have to say my strengths are just hard work and determination. When I'm not flying and when I don't have jobs, I'm out there each and every day meeting with people, getting contacts, connecting with people, just trying to get my name out there. So my weaknesses would have to be, I'm still working hard on my editing. That's always something that, I wasn't taught how to do it. And so I've taught myself how to do it. And so when I'm doing a job for a customer, it's like I just go over it and redo it because I'm not happy. And my wife's like, no, it looks great. It looks great. And I was like, no, this is wrong and that's wrong. And so, yeah, I'm really too hard on myself when it comes to my editing. I need to, to stick with it when, with my first gut instinct. But I'd have to say that's my weakness right now. But it's something that, I come home each day after I'm done flying or after, I'm out trying to drum up business, and I spend hours on my computer just working on it and just, messing with things. There's a ton of videos that I don't put up on YouTube just because I don't think it's, I'm just not happy with it. So that's one of the reasons I haven't put up something in so long, since, yesterday and today. But yeah, I'm pretty hard on myself when it comes to my editing. So that's definitely one of my weaknesses.
Yeah. Well, we all have weaknesses, don't we? So
yep.
So earlier on, when I first got to know you, which was only 2 days ago, you mentioned that you're not far from a certain national park in the States. So do you go there very often?
Excuse me. Yeah, Yellowstone National Park is about an hour away, hour north, maybe a little longer. And I haven't been there this year. I went last year. I try to get up there at least once or twice a year. This park is so huge, you can't see it all in a weekend. There's just so much to do. So, yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been up there yet. I want to get up there before, you know, it starts to snow. If you look at my latest video of the river in Swan Valley, you'll see there's already snow in the mountains. So I need to get up there in the next, you know, month or so. But yeah, it's a beautiful park, a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, I know. That's one place I haven't been to, and it's one place I would love to go. You know, especially in the winter to film the wildlife, the black and everything. I'm just saying, just checking the chat. Kentucky Ranger, he says taking pictures and video is awesome, fun. Then the work begins with editing. Yes, we all agree on that.
Yep.
So there's a few, they're all subbing each other, and I think they've gone over to Leonard D's as well. I've just subbed him. So
all right, good deal. Good deal. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So what motivates you then?
Well, money. You got to get paid. I got to make a living, you know. It was frustrating to begin in the beginning because you know, when you're not bringing any money in, and the wife's like, you know, maybe you should get a job. But she's been great. She's been super supportive. She stuck with me through this, and she's like, you know, you're great at this. You just need to stick with it. And so, you know, just you know, aside from money, you know, because money isn't everything, but just making people happy and putting out a quality product, you know, I think that's a big motivator. When you have a big network contact me and say, hey, we'd like to license your footage, that was a huge motivation for me, because at the time, business was slow. I wasn't getting anything. You know, I started my business and it was a couple, you know, 2 or 3 months, and I wasn't, you know, I was getting a lot of people, yeah, let me get some quotes and come out and do this and that, but no one was hiring me. And so when that happened, that was a huge motivation, and gave me a good kick in the butt to say, you know, yeah, keep going and just work harder at this, and it'll get there. So, you know, yeah, between that, you know, making your family happy and just the end product. So
Yeah. So I put a notice up on my YouTube channel that I've got the interview with you tonight, and I put your trailer on. So did you do the voiceover for your trailer, or did you get that professionally done? Because it's a very professional and polished trailer for your business.
yeah, I did the trailer. The voiceover work is from a country music DJ. His name is Tony Conrad. He's out of Iowa, and I met him on an Android channel about 6 or 7 years ago. We've been friends ever since, and so yeah, he's a country music DJ, and he does a lot of commercial work and voiceover work in his state and city. And so, you know, I was like, you know, I need a professional trailer. I was like, would you mind, you know, doing some voiceover work for me? And he's like, no, not at all. And so, you know, he sent me a couple over, and I was like, well, let's edit this part out, because I wrote the script and he did the voiceover. And so he sent it over. I was like, no, I don't really like that. I hate to have you do this again. And he's like, no, it's no problem. He's like, I've got my own studio at the house. He's like, it's not a problem. And so he recorded it a few different times for me. And so, yeah, so it was nice, and it sounds great, and I'm happy with it. He's getting ready to do another clip for me so I can make an updated trailer and a little demo reel. So yeah, it's been great to have his professional voice, because it sounds really good. So
yeah, well, Random Life Productions has said she'll do a voiceover for you, posh music,
all right.
Posh music voice. So I don't know whether you follow her channel at all, Chris, but it's Random Life Productions. Her name's Gail. So
I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, when you
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I'll put a link in the comments at the end, and then because she's a random girl. She talks, does a few live streams, kaleidoscopes. She's very random at everything.
Nice.
But she's a great character. She does a bit of rapping music, smule music. She's a good friend. So
nice.
And like Pixie's channel, they're great. Kentucky Ranger, Mary Reed, they're all great channels, So
very nice.
I'll try and remember who's been on in the chat, or all those who have been on in the chat at the end of the video when it's been processed. If you can put a link to your channel in the comments, and then
that'd be great.
And then Chris can sub you all then, because he's doing this on the phone.
Definitely. Thank you guys, and thank you, Gail, for the offer. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, here's one then that I usually ask then. What has been your greatest achievement today, besides having your footage in on the documentary and everything like that? Has there been any other particular time in your life where you accomplished something that you're really proud of?
That is a good question. We have our times throughout our life where we have various achievements and whatnot. When I was younger, in my early teens, early 20s, I was really into piano, and so I won a number of awards playing piano and whatnot. So that was kind of an achievement in that chapter of my life. And then I've had my various work achievements throughout my life, but I don't really have one in particular that I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But you just have your various achievements as you go through life, that you strive for. You set goals for yourself, and if you can attain those, that's always a good feeling and whatnot. So I'm big on setting goals for myself and achieving those, and then moving on to other things. So having worked at the same company for 20 years before I was in the drone business, I had a number of achievements within work and whatnot. So that was always something I was proud of. But as far as my personal life, nothing really stands out. It's just, I just try to do my best at everything, whether it's work or play or personal or whatnot.
Yeah, I've just got to ask this in the chat, because we're going on about goggles. What's all this about goggles then? Tell me. As he uses DJI goggles or cheaper ones, or not at all? Can you ask if he uses DJI goggles? Yeah. Sorry,
I do not use the DJI goggles. I use the FlySight Spexman 2 goggles, and they're amazing. They're, a lot of the racing drone guys will use the Fat Sharks. These are similar to Fat Sharks. The DJI goggles, they're like one big screen, and so it can be a little disorienting from what I've heard flying your drone. And so with the FlySights and the Fat Sharks, you've got the two separate the views that you're looking through. And so they're just a really nice goggle. They're inexpensive. You can pick them up for, like $250 on Amazon, and they work really, really well. Crystal clear image, no breakup or interference. And so I've had those for about 7-8 months and absolutely love them. So.
Oh, brilliant then. So what are your goals for your business within the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Oh, man. I just want to... Besides what?
Besides being retired at 55.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to be able to to have a comfortable living with, you know, a consistent amount of customers rolling in. So I'm not constantly, you know, out pounding the pavement trying to drum up business. So my goal for the next year is to just, you know, get to the point where I've got so many people calling, wanting my, you know, wanting me to do work for them, that, you know, I'm not out there pounding the pavement. So that's my goal. In 5 years, I don't know, maybe I'll have, you know, a few employees and a fleet of drones, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, baby steps.
Well, let's hope that in 5 years' time, if I'm still here and I get back to you, that you've got other drone people flying for you, and you're sat in the office putting all the footage together.
That's right. That's right.
Because that's a goal. Because like with me in the video filming business, that's what I had eventually. With doing weddings, I had 5 cameramen who used to do the weddings, and, you know, subcontract basis, and they did the weddings, and I paid them like £300 in those days. Returned the footage to me, and I sat in the office eventually and just edited.
Nice.
And that, you know, but it took about 5 years, I think, to get to that point where I had, you know, I mean, they were employed, they were just subcontracting. If they didn't want to do it, I had spare cameramen who would do it for me, you know. So if I was starting a business such as yours in the drone world, that's the goal that I would set, that having other drone pilots who would go out there. So I'd have maybe 10 jobs a day, hopefully, with 10 different guys going out there, and you're set with another person doing the editing.
There you go. That's a good one there. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. What drone are you flying right now?
The Phantom 3 Advanced.
Nice.
But the only problem is because I always used to ask, and every time I asked a place where I wanted to fly, like over a church or whatever, windmills or whatever, they always used to say no. So now I've decided I'm not going to ask. I'm going to put the drone up, fly it, and then if they come up and approach me and say you can't fly it, I'll just fetch it down, and I've got the footage, Anna. You know, because I was getting fed up. Well, I am fed up of people saying no. I mean, the only place where I live, and I live by the coast, is the beach. Nobody says anything there. You can film up and down clean up seafront, no problem. Go 10 miles away, it's a bombing range, so you can't fly anywhere near there. Go the other way, near the Humber Bridge. The Humber Bridge is about 11 miles away from Humberside Airport. So I could film the Humber Bridge, but if I came any closer, you know, you're not allowed to fly. So, you know, I look at it, I think I should have been in Yorkshire or Wales, and then I could have flown a lot more than what I can here. And because I don't just like aerial footage, you know, I mean, I watched your trailer and I've watched quite a few of your videos today, and I thought to myself, you've got the fantastic aerial footage, you know, as some of these properties. And then I think to myself, you haven't shown anything down on the, you know, inside the property.
Right.
And if I was doing a business such as yours, that's what I would do. I'd do the drone footage, and then I'd either get some stills or some video footage of these properties, because I know it's real estate that you do quite a bit of your work in.
Right.
And then you're showing the property off to its full advantage, you know. And there's a lot of guys here in this country that do top-end properties, aerial views, but they don't combine the inside or ground shots with the aerial footage, and I think that enhances your reputation and the video that you produce.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now there are a number of jobs now when I do real estate work. They typically have someone who's doing the ground shots and the groundwork. And so all they want from me, at least the job so far, has been the aerial work. And then I'll just give them the footage, they'll edit it together. The landscaping job that I did, they gave some photos of some before shots, which I incorporated, but you know, you're absolutely right. I need to focus more on getting some B-roll stuff, getting some stuff on the ground, whether it's video or photos, and start incorporating that into my videos more. The stuff I put on my channel is typically just for me personally. It's not as much, aside from the trailer, just to send, you know, customers, say, look, but yeah, I probably should focus more on incorporating some ground stuff, just because you're absolutely right. It does make it look a bit more professional. I just haven't had anybody wanting, you know, stuff from the ground, because they've either been doing it a while and have their own photography doing that stuff or whatnot. So yeah, I do need to. Yeah, that's a great idea.
It's like, because you've got the voiceover person, you know,
Right.
get a voiceover on the real estate videos as well. You know,
Yeah.
You know, just incorporate it all. So you just not doing the aerial footage, you're doing
Right.
the rest of the work as well. You know, I'm just thinking about ways that you could improve your business. You know, because there's a lot of people now coming into the drone world. I mean, it's really expanding really fast. So you've got to be out there in front.
Right. I've got to set myself apart. Yep, you're exactly right. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like YouTube, isn't it? You know, you've got the big YouTube channels because they found a niche in the market, and that's what they aim for. And then you get us smaller ones who are trying to build up. Unless you come up with a niche thing, you're never going to get big. It's like me. I mean, I enjoy these one-to-ones because I get to meet fellow YouTubers, whether they're big, small, or medium size or whatever, because I enjoy talking to people and we can all learn from each other. And that's what the community that I'm in on YouTube, which is about a basis of about 40 or 50 people. I learn a lot from every video or everyone who I subscribe to, because I look at the different techniques that they all use, and that then I can twist and turn to my advantage, type of thing, to get more people watching my videos. But see, what lets me down is I can talk like this because I'm talking to a person. To a camera, I get very tongue-tied because I never know what to say. And it's a weakness that I am working on. I'll get there in the end if I survive. But it is a weakness that I am trying to improve. So, yeah, we all have weaknesses, and we can all improve. So, I hope we're not running over, because you said you had about an hour.
Nope, we're good. We've got a few more minutes, but yeah, yeah, that's you know, that's always been a weakness of mine as well. I've actually done, you know, I did a video review on those goggles I was talking about earlier, and I put it up on YouTube, and then I took it down and I redid it, I reshot it, and I put it back up. I took it down. I'm like, I can't do a video of myself talking about something, even if I've got a script and I've gone over it. So that's a huge weakness of mine as well. And so that's one of the reasons I got into doing this podcast with Leonard D. And it's helped me to be able to talk more freely, more openly, on camera and whatnot. So that's been a huge help. So
Yeah, well, I mean, you're very relaxed on this one-to-one interview. You know, you come across as a guy who
Thanks.
knows his business, who's very relaxed in front of the camera. So I've just lost the train of thought then. I was going to ask you something that you just come up with, and it's gone. That's my age. Forget about it.
You know, one thing that has worked to my advantage, well, it's worked to my advantage and disadvantage, is being in a smaller town. I know I talk to a lot of drone operators all over the country, and there is so much competition in some of these larger cities with the drone business. However, in my small town here, we've only got a couple of guys who are really doing it professionally besides me.
Yeah.
And so, so I'm only competing against a very small group, and so the market is wide open to get business here. The only problem is you've got those people who, you know, like there's a lot of realtors out there who I'll approach and say, you know, look, this is what I can offer you, and they're like, oh well, you know, we've got aerial photos, and so I'll go onto their website, I'll look at the property I was just discussing, and all they've done is incorporated a Google image from the Google Earth.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's getting those people out of the mindset that, you know, I can provide something a little bit better. And so, but having a less competition is kind of been helpful in a way. But so there's still people, like you said, you know, here in Idaho, we're required to get permission when we fly over somebody's personal property. Flying over is one thing. We need permission if we want to film it. Yeah. So I know how it is. You know, everyone. You know, you. In your instance, it's easier to say I'm sorry than ask for permission. So, but in my instance, I've had, you know, just dozens and dozens of people. You know, the majority of the people are more than happy to let me film their property and whatnot. I've only had a couple of instances where they've said no, and I'm like, you know, that's fine. You have to respect their wishes, but overall, it's been, people have really embraced it, and I've more often than not, I've had people come up to me, and I've just sat there and talked to them for, you know, 35-40 minutes, and they just want to know all about it. And so it's, you know, helping to educate the public has been a huge hurdle, because a lot of times all you see in the news is, you know, the bad stuff that happens. You know, they don't feature, you know, the good that happens with drones. And so the more I can get out there and help educate the people and help show that, you know, look, the drones aren't the evil thing that, you know, the news makes them out to be, you know, the better. So
this is it, because I mean, that was a thought that you know, when you do these properties, you know, do you do them for yourself or do you do them for a realtor?
Yeah, a lot of times I just do it for myself, just to you know, just as, you know, one, for practice, and then two, I'll take some aerial footage and then use that, and if the house is for sale, I'll then go and bring that footage to the realtor and say, look, you know, is this something you're interested in? So it kind of depends upon the situation. You know, if it's a beautiful house just up in the mountains and I just want to film it, and you know, I'll go knock on the door. If anyone's home, you know, I'll ask them, and if no one's home, I'll just, you know, I'll film it and just use it for myself personally. So, you know, it just depends on the situation.
Yeah. Because I mean, looking at that trailer, there's some lovely property in your area. I mean, to me, I'd be out filming it. You know, if I had a business like yours and I was younger, I'd be out filming all those properties. Without asking, well, I'd ask, but I'd do like you, go around and film, and then I'd go back when they're in, you know, a few days later, and I'd take a big canvas a still of their property on canvas, and I'd say, I'm in the area, I took this, you know, would you be interested? So I'd be selling the canvases, don't you know, because with being in business, you always look for ways of getting in and getting work from those type of people.
Right,
you know?
right.
And once you're in, you know, and I mean, you know, it's like social media, isn't it? You know, I don't know what social media you use, but you put a still on Facebook, if you've got a Facebook site, or on your Twitter or whatever, people see it, and social media does fetch in a lot of work now. I mean, if it had all been around when I was younger, I'd have been very well off. You know?
Right.
It was, in my day, it was cold door knocking, cold canvassing.
Right.
Into businesses, and you know, because I used to film property, and I used to get around to the estate agents or realtors, whatever, and it was like knocking my head against a brick wall, because they were very opposed to video in those days. It was, oh, we've got a photographer, he takes the things. Yeah, but on video you can make it a lot more interesting.
Right.
It's like going around businesses, isn't it? You knock on a business door, you don't get past the secretary. So if you can get past the secretary, you can get in.
Yep. Exactly.
If you've got a big factory, or a medium-sized factory, and you get the video footage and you go knocking on the door, no. But once you've got past that now, and they see it, you get in. And once you're in, you know, because I've always had the philosophy is people buy off friends, they don't buy off strangers. So if you can become a friend to whoever in business, you'll always get their business. You know,
absolutely.
And you could be the most expensive, because I mean, you know, if you've made a friend of that person or persons, you will always get their business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, you know, I carry business cards with me and hand them out daily. And you know, when I first started out, I wanted to focus more on the real estate, but I've kind of, you know, moved away from that, just because you know, it just wasn't happening. So that's why you know, the job I'm going to this afternoon, it's a corn maze. So it's just a small local family thing that's put together. They have a website, they throw it up, and then, you know, like the landscaping deal, or there's a big Freightliner dealership, a big semi truck Freightliner dealership. So there, you know, I've had to think of other ways and other means and other businesses to approach, and just kind of think outside the box, and that seems to have been working better for me than the whole real estate thing. But like you said, you know, you just go and you have to make that connection. You have to spend the time to get to know the people, you know, be open, be friendly, and just become their friend, and just, you know, that's what helps bring business, because then they're going to tell their friends about you, and it's just going to snowball from there. So
have you got many motor dealers around your area?
Yeah, I do. We have quite a few, as a matter of fact. I haven't had much luck getting them because, well, there's a couple of reasons. Most of the main reason is they're in town, and most of town here is within 5 miles of an airport. So now I got a waiver from the FAA to be able to fly in a certain section. Yeah. But other than that, I'm stuck because I'm within 5 miles. So there are a couple outside of town. I haven't had any luck getting business with them yet, but, you know, I'm always working at it. You know, when somebody says no, I don't take that as that's it. You know, I'll go back, and, you know, in a month or so, or a few weeks, you know, I'll approach them again and say, hey, you know, have you changed your mind, or or bring them something else. Look, this is what I've done lately. You know, would you mind taking a look at this? And, you know, you have to be persistent in this job or in any, you know, small business that's you're first starting out. You just, persistence is key. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's one thing I learned many, many years ago. But it is in anything, because I mean, it's like me with these one-to-ones. I really, it takes me a lot of hard work to get people to come on the one-to-ones, and I've done I've interviewed 26 people, or not interviewed them, but talked to them and got to know them as individual channels, and the people behind the channels, which I find very, very interesting. You know, because I mean, like yourself, you made that comment. You said to me you wanted to be on me one-to-ones. I got straight back to you, and it's like we'd been friends for years, and we didn't know it.
Right.
You know, and like now, how relaxed you are with me, and I'm ever so relaxed with you. It's just that I am watching all the comments in the window. So, and we've got 17 viewers on, which is brilliant. Or 19 in the room. Random Live says, and they're all subbing to each other who haven't subbed. And this community is building up and building up and building up. And it's not about it's about the people behind each individual channel that you subscribe to. You can connect.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's one of the ways that I was able to, you know, before YouTube, I was into online forums. So you know, when smartphones first came out, you know, I jumped on this forum, and you know, I'm a big Samsung fan, and so you know, I started out just being just a subscriber of the forum, and then for long I was promoted to a moderator, and then before long I was promoted to an administrator. And then before you know it, I'm an administrator of 7 Android forums. And so I met just a ton of people through there. And then over the years, you get to, you know, see, oh, well, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. So you go on their YouTube channel. And so, you know, social media is just, it can be used for so much good. And it's just a great way to meet people. Not only to promote your business, but to just, you know, meet new people in different locations, make new friendships, and it's amazing how far technology has come to, you know, to be able to interact like we are. And so it's awesome.
So have you done any traveling at all abroad? Have you ever been to the UK?
I have not. I have been to every state in the United States multiple times. I've been to Canada, Mexico. I've been to all of the Caribbean islands in the Eastern and Southern Caribbean. But I have never been overseas as far as the UK or anything like that. But I'm definitely hoping to get over there eventually. You know.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome. There's always a bed here for you and the wife. Anytime you want to come, you know.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I like visitors. You know, all right. I live in a 1-bedroom flat, but it's got a guest room in the community. Or you know, that's £6 a night, so it's very, very cheap. So
you as well. Whenever you're ready to come over to visit Yellowstone, you know, we're not far away. So just let me know.
I'll tell you what, if the wife could travel to the States, I'd jump at that. I'd be over there. But air insurance is too expensive, so I'll have to ask her if she'll let me come over.
There you go.
On the own, I'll just say, can I have it, you know, as a special gift, you know, just let me go for 2 months. I'll buy her everything she wants.
Right.
He needs to look. Sorry about this Kentucky Ranger. I am trying to keep up with the chat, but because I get so involved in me conversations, I miss half the comments. So what would you like?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you guys for joining and participating in the chat. We really appreciate it.
So Kentucky, what is it you want me to ask? Or what? Because I haven't seen it. I'm not going to look back. Drone home inspections. Oh, drone home inspections he's mentioning. So can you elaborate a bit on that, Kentucky Ranger?
You know, I've had a couple of roofers want to work with me, and a couple of contractors. As far as home inspecting, not so much, but I have had a number of contractors. I'm in the process of filming a house from the ground up. This contractor's building his own personal home.
Yeah.
And so I've been going out there every few weeks and shooting some footage as it's being built. So hopefully once that's done and I get all the footage from that. And so, but aside from just construction and roofing, that's all I've been able to do. No real home inspection type work though.
Yeah. Owen Williams says, Keith, can you tell him I'm here? Yes, I have. And he said on Sunday.
Hey, Owen. How you doing, Owen? We'll get together soon and do a chat. Don't worry.
Yeah. So, have you put your name forward for Patrick Conlon's reviews on your channel?
Yes, I'll have to definitely do that. Yeah, Patrick's awesome. I was watching a video he put up. Was it today or yesterday? About some editing work and whatnot. He does some amazing work with editing. So yeah, Patrick is great.
Yeah. You know, and it took me months to get him on this one.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know how to live stream, you know, but he's late. And look at him. He's using OBS, green screens, green screening, everything.
Yeah, he's big time. Patrick's big time.
Yeah. Kentucky Ranger says, have you approached insurance companies? Because they pay a lot for drone damage assessment.
Yeah, that's something I've been meaning to do, as a matter of fact. So thanks for reminding me. I've been wanting to approach insurance companies and title companies. So yeah, thanks for the reminder. I'll definitely write that down right now, because I'm always looking for, you know, new people to approach and new businesses to approach. And so yeah, that's great suggestion. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I never thought about that. That is a good one.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I tell you what, there's been a few in the chat that I haven't managed to sub to, but I've sub to a couple now that I wasn't sub to. So if I haven't subbed to you, just drop me a comment in the comment box after it's all processed, and I will get back and sub to you all that I'm not sub to at present.
Yes, me as well.
And Kentucky Ranger says, just trying to help. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Because his cousin makes a lot of money doing that.
Nice. Awesome.
Work.
That's great.
Yeah. So Kentucky Ranger, is he in the same business then? He's got his own drone business, has he? Your cousin? I'm just waiting for him to answer, you know. But that's the beauty of when you're doing it on a laptop or on a desktop and you see the comments.
Yeah.
You're both watching them as well, because it's
right.
Because that's one thing that somebody said to me in one of the one-to-ones, that I wasn't taking much notice of the comments. You try to, you know, but you get so involved in the conversation.
Right. You tend to miss them. Yeah.
I mean, like I always do. Yeah. Yes, he's out of Ohio. Oh, so he's near you, isn't he?
Nice.
Yeah. Bye, Owen. Thanks a lot. Don't really sound like.
Thanks, Owen.
I wish I was 808. I try my best. I try to make them interesting, and that's why I do a lot of, you know, because I watched, I would say, all but 2 of your videos today to try and find out a bit more about you. But because you don't because you don't vlog on your videos, and you've never done a question and answer on your videos, I thought,
Right.
I don't know much about. The only thing I've got from when I had that half-an-hour chat on Thursday night after Patrick's one-to-one. So
yeah. I need to expand on that a little bit more. That's something I've always slacked on. I didn't join Facebook until just this past year. I think it was November I joined. I had a Facebook years ago and I deleted it after a week. I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to hear everyone's drama. I can't do it. And then when I started my business, I was like, you know what? You know, everyone is promoting their business on Facebook. Let me do that. So I created a Facebook for my business. It really hasn't done much for my business, but it's there. But granted, that said, I don't really post enough on there. You know, if I do a new video, I'll throw that up, but I don't really interact on Facebook and social media as much as I should, and I probably should do that. You know, aside from YouTube, you know, I have a Twitter account, Instagram, and I kind of neglect those. I'll go for, you know, a couple weeks without doing anything on them, and then I'll pop on and kind of do some stuff here or there. But that's something I definitely need to focus more on, because it can help to expand your business. And
Kentucky Rangers just made a comment on here, and I think it's a very good one. And I bet you've never thought of that. It says he has afforded him to get a thermal camera for his drone. He uses it to assess energy savings for people as well.
nice.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that to me, that's a brilliant idea, because I think a lot of those properties around your area, if you could get a thermal imaging camera on your drone, or buy another drone and with a thermal imaging camera on, yes,
Right.
Kentucky Ranger.
Yeah, the good thing is the Phantom 4 Professional does have a thermal imaging camera that you can install on it. It's a bit pricey, so I'll have to wait for a little bit, but that's definitely another great idea. You know, and yeah, so thanks for that suggestion. Awesome idea.
Yeah. You know, I never thought, and when you look at how efficient these properties are in insulation, I would have thought that would have been a brilliant seller to go out and canvass for business. And
right.
I wish I'd been 20 years younger. Great business ideas. You know,
the possibilities are endless, man. It's like, you know, it's just, if you can imagine it, and you know, you can probably use a drone for it. So, you know, it's, you know, that's why I you know, even though I started out last fall, you know, I flew throughout the whole winter because I was trying to get footage of snowboarders and snowmobilers. I want to get in with the ski resorts and do some search and rescue. So, you know, I'll fly all year. It doesn't matter here. It doesn't matter to me, you know. But
oh yeah. But thank you very much, Kentucky Ranger. You know, you've given
absolutely
some brilliant ideas, and you know, we can't praise you enough on those ideas, because you know, any way to help fellow YouTubers or fellow YouTubers with businesses, that's what the community is all about, isn't it? Really, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and you know, I want to see your business grow. You know, so I'm going to take particular notice now. The next 6 months, you know, I'm going to watch you carefully and see how it grows with some more excellent video drone footage of there.
Thank you very much, and I'll definitely take everyone's suggestions and thoughts into consideration, and especially getting some B-roll and some ground shots and start incorporating those more. Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many drone operators who do that, and yeah, I need to remember to focus on that more, because I live in such a beautiful state. There's so much to film around here, and aerial videos are more than just, you know, shots from above. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to see more of your state, you know, with the ground shots, B-roll, aerial footage, because, I mean, you know, I do the review show on a Monday, so I'm going to review your channel on my review, Drone Fly's Monday review show now on this coming Monday. I will use.
All right.
Instead of, I'm not just going to download one video, I'm going to download quite a few and re-edit them myself and put them up. As long as you give me permission to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
Hopefully you'll get a few more subs from it. Like tonight, I hope people have gone over to sub your channel. Kentucky Ranger says he used to live in Utah.
Nice.
That's another state I've never been to. So
Utah is a beautiful, beautiful state. Yeah.
You said you've been nearly all over the states. Have you been to Hawaii then?
Oh yeah, that's that. Yeah, I should correct that. I've been to all of the continuous 48 states. I haven't been to Hawaii and Alaska. So I've been to all the 48 states, and then Canada and Mexico, but not Alaska and Hawaii. Those are definitely on my list to go to for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, come to the UK first and come and see.
Okay, all right.
See us over here, you know, because Pixie will make you welcome, and Random Life lives in London. She'll make you welcome, you know.
Good deal, good deal.
Yeah, you know, because if you don't ask, you don't ever receive. So I'm a bit like that. I'm very forward at coming forward. You know, I always ask, because if you don't ask, you don't give the person or the people the choice of saying yes or no. And if they say
That's
no,
right.
if they say no, you go a bit more Jeff, don't you? You know, deaf. And if they say yeah, you jump for joy.
Right.
Sean's Day's on. Hello, Eagle. Came to show my. Thanks, Sean's Day. Yeah, I
Hey, Sean.
one-to-one with you, Sean's Day as well. And I'd love to do a one-to-one with you, Kentucky Ranger. If you, yeah, you're welcome to come over anytime, Kentucky Ranger. Yeah, you know. Pixie Channel says we've got a spare room. He can use. What's that? 4,000 a night. Oh yeah, that's not Pixie. You're definitely off the Christmas week. Yeah, send me some. Kentucky Ranger says send me some plane tickets. Kentucky Ranger, I'm a pensioner. I can't afford things like that. I can afford to come over from. I can afford to come to the States, but I don't know what the prices are like coming from the States back here. Because I mean, I can get a return flight in November to Atlanta for about £434, which is about $500.
Yeah, that's not bad, really, considering. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I'm driving to Arkansas instead of flying, because it's so expensive, and they always jack up the prices during the holidays anyway. So I was like, you know, forget it. You know, it'll give me a good opportunity to get some aerial footage in, you know, 4 or 5 different states on the drive down, and so.
Yeah, and pop into all these businesses on your way down. So instead of taking you 18 hours, it's going to take you 18 weeks.
Right.
Excuse me a minute, Chris. Kentucky Ranger, I'll get in touch with you on Hangouts if you're on, you know, or through the YouTube Messenger, and we'll set that up for maybe next week. One night next week, because I'd love to do an interview with yourself, and I've got to set up one with AKA Our Life as well, with Abby and Keith, because they're a very interesting channel. So, because the more the merrier, you know, because I love talking to people. I never shut up. I could go on for hours. I'm not a dark matter, or I'm not a cab 7, believe me. I do not go for that long, 16 hours. Yeah. So
No, these have been great, man. I've loved the fact that you started doing these, and it's just it's a blast to just sit back and watch the interaction and get to know these folks, and that's the great thing about this and YouTube and just social media in general. You're able to interact and really get to know folks from just all over that you wouldn't normally,
yeah. Well,
know
I mean,
about. Or
this is it. I mean, there's one guy or two guys who I've interviewed on me one-to-one. One's called Vinny G channel, and the other one is Aussie Mark. They're both drone flyers, although they do all the things. Now, Vinny G, he's a comic. He really fantastic bloke. If you haven't, if you haven't subbed to him, you look for his channel. He's
what
brilliant.
is it? Vinny G?
Yeah, it's VINYGEE.
Okay.
That's it, Vinny G. He's from Melbourne, I think, and then Aussie Mark's from Queensland. I've interviewed them both, so both of the
Okay.
channel
One-to-ones.
Yeah, channel links.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the great guys, and you'd love watching some of their videos.
Nice.
But Aussie Matt is the droner out the two, because Vinny G talks about everything. He restores cars. He's got a Phantom 3 standard. He's taken it apart and everything like this. And another channel I recommend is Fishy Comic. He's a guy from New York somewhere. He's got over 4,000 subscribers. So
Nice.
They're brilliant channels, and I just subscribed to Sean Stay's channel a couple of days ago, and I've watched quite a few of his videos, because when I get somebody inside who I'd like to interview, he's got a great channel. He seems like a wonderful guy, so I'm looking forward to doing a one-to-one with him. So but I think he's from the States, if I remember right. So but I have across channel. I'm into all sorts. So I even watch all these over 60 beauty divas talking about the makeups and everything like that. And I've done a couple of interviews with a couple of those beauty divas there. Another channel I recommend is Monica McKillicuddy and Beauty on a Budget Bella. She's another great YouTube channel. Very supportive.
And that's been my biggest problem, is finding the time to watch everyone's channel. You subscribe to all these people who are just amazing, but just finding the time throughout the week to watch their content, because you want to support them. And there are so many guys that have been just amazing and supporting me and watching my videos and commenting on them when they come out. And that's I go through the ups and downs with that. I'll go through and I'll just spend all night, every night, for 1 week, just watching everyone's stuff and commenting, and then I'll go a week or so without watching anything, just because I'm so tired from working a 12-hour day. I don't have time. So finding the time to watch everyone's stuff and be interactive with them and whatnot has always been a challenge for me. But I do the best I can, and when I can, and so that's something I'll continue to work on.
It's the same with me now. I mean, I had a count up. I counted up about an hour ago how many subscribers I subscribed to. I thought it was 950 odd, but it's 994 channels I subscribed to. And in the last month, I've got 155 new subscribers, which I've subscribed to one. And I never unsubscribe to anybody. Once I'm subscribed. Now, I'm not. I'll be honest. I don't watch all the videos because you just haven't got time.
Just don't have time, yeah.
But there are a nucleus of people who I watch all their videos. If I'm interested, I will watch everything. And like today, as I say, I've watched 90%, or there was 2 videos I didn't get round to watching of yours. So I don't know how many videos you've got up on your channel, but you've got quite a few. And, you know, I sit through them all and watch, and I'm, you know, and I'm thinking, I've just sat through all that, been brilliant, but I ain't learned anything about who I'm interviewing. And that's what I look through. You know, I can see how, from when you first got the drone to how you are now, how you've improved. So it is noticeable how much of an improvement there is to your work.
I still got a ways to go, you know. There's always, you know, and even, you know, even 5 years in, I mean, I'm sure I'll still be honing my craft and learning. There's always room for improvement, whether it's flying or whether it's editing. You know, you never stop learning, and that's always been, you know, with anything in life. Just never stop learning, and never stop trying to improve. So.
Yeah, so there's Richard Palmisano, who I reviewed his channel on the Drone Flyers Monday review show. He's another great guy that I'm going to have to get on these one-to-ones, because he puts a lot of aerial footage on. You know, he seems like a great guy. So if you're listening and you're watching this, Richard, please say yes or no to a one-to-one interview with me, because I've reviewed your channel. And when this is processed, if you could leave a link to your channel in the comments, so Dronewolf Media can subscribe to you, because I can't remember everybody who's been on. That's the problem, because, you know, that's the one thing about Hangouts, it doesn't keep the comments. So otherwise, if I could remember everybody, I'd put all the links into their channels in. You know, I can remember, I would say, most of the ones who always come on my live streams. So little plug for Bossman Productions. It's him and Jenna Pettigrew, who I've both interviewed, doing a community fest at 8:30 English time, UK time, on Sunday evening. It used to be called the Subfest, but they've renamed it Community Fest, because we don't want subs, we want a community of fellow YouTubers. So
nice.
That's what we're trying to build up here, Chris. You know, is a community that if we need any help on anything, that we can just call on each other for any any assistance.
Very nice, very nice. Now, you'll have to send me the link to that and the information. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, because it's you know, this is what we want to build up. Where if you need any footage from England or anything like that, or from Florida or from Utah, or, you know, getting in touch with each other to help each other's channel grow.
Right.
So thanks a lot, Monday. You know, I appreciate that comment you've just put in. Really do. Bossman's about 6 hours behind with his watching videos. Yeah, we all are. Because as your channel grows, you just cannot keep up with it. You know. You know, I go on. I'm like Pixie's channel and Random Life Productions, and I go on a lot of live streams myself. The problem now is I'm not getting out using my camera so much, because I'm watching the videos, and really, I started out, I wanted to be I wanted to be a creator. I enjoyed going out filming. Like, I bumped into an old friend today, and he's just got over, he hasn't been given the all clear, but he's just gone through chemo and everything like that. So I says to him, can I come round and interview you about your treatment and about what you've suffered? So he says, yeah. So, you know, I thought it'd make an interesting video.
Right.
I had 2 new cars put on my car on Saturday morning. So I just got talking to the tyre fitter, the bloke who owns the place. I says, can I use my camera and film you doing my tyres? I says, you know, no charge. You can use my footage. I'll edit it, put some music. You do a voiceover for it, and you can put it on your Facebook because he hasn't got a video. And he says, yeah.
Right.
A builder pulled in after me with his van. He heard me talking. He says, oh, can you do a video for me?
Nice. Nice.
And then a woman
That's awesome.
came. Yeah, and then a woman came up after him while I was still talking to the tyre fitter, and she says, oh, my daughter's getting married next year. You don't do weddings, do you? I says, well, I used to, but I've been retired 7 years. How much would you charge? So I gave her a price. Phoned me up today and says, next June, if you want the job, you've got it. And I thought, just shows you, just talking to people,
yep.
Other people walk in, as soon as you mention video or droning, bang, you could end up walking out of a place with 2 or 3 jobs.
Yep. Absolutely. That's the key to it all. You know, it's building those, you know, friendships, making yourself approachable, just being friendly and just, you know, talking to people. That's what helps you succeed in life with everything. So.
Yeah. So what time does it get dark at your place now then, Chris?
Oh, now that fall is arriving, it's starting to get dark a lot earlier. It's one of the reasons that footage I shot yesterday of the river is a little dark. I tried to get there a little earlier. I forgot to take into consideration that the sun is setting sooner these days. So I've got to get headed over to this job because I've got to drive about 30 minutes down and get this footage shot. But yeah, it's you know, we're not getting daylight till, you know, 9-10 o'clock anymore. So it's starting to get dark around 6 or 7. So
it's roughly about the same time here, about 6 o'clock now.
Yeah, and it's getting cold here too, man. It's been in the below freezing at night and just in the upper 40s to mid 50s in the day. So winter is right around the corner.
Well, so I've got another drone, Richard. Thank you. I will be in touch about a one-to-one interview with you. But because Chris has got to go to a job now, I'm going to say thank you first to Chris for this great interview or great chat. Thank you to everybody who has come into the live stream. Just got to say, Crimson, don't forget to send your email to Pixie's channel so he can send you the photograph and the wallpaper. It's all right. We've got a thing about my wallpaper. I thank Mary Reed, Kentucky Ranger, Sean's Day, all sorts, Boss Man's,
Owen
Pickering, Owen Williams, My Crazy Kid, aka Our Life, and Broad's Drones. He's just come in. Ben, he's another good channel. So Ben, if you can leave a comment and leave a link to your channel so that Dronewolf Media, Chris, can sub to yours. Everybody else, Two Wheels Fix, everybody else, thanks a lot. I'll see you next week on the next one-to-one interview. And I don't know who
Thank you. Thank you so much, Keith. I appreciate it. This has been a blast. And thank you so much to everyone who joined and came on to check this out. It's been great. So I look forward to subscribing to those of you that I haven't subscribed to yet. And I really enjoyed our conversation and our one-on-one. So thank you very much, Keith.
Okay, then. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm just going to finish the broadcast now.